Hello everyone. Welcome to Danae's Art Room. I'm Danae and today I'm coming from you from a new location in my art room. I have exciting news today. So in the past, if you've seen me make these fantastic little art books, which are inspired by Denise Love, you've seen me use this mixed media pad, which is 17 inches by 14 inches. Well, look what I've discovered. So I was at Hobby Lobby in the United States and I found an 24 by 18 inch mixed media pad. It's Fabriano paper and I'm going to make a big version of these books and I'm so excited. For today's video, I thought I would use some cool colors. These are the color palettes I've used in the past and there's a mix, but I really thought I would lean into the cool colors. I have a bucket of paints that I don't use very often, so I thought I would pull from that today and kind of stick with the greens, the purples. This is ultramarine blue. It's quite bright, and I was sort of thinking more pastel-y, but we'll see what happens. So join me and let's create a fun piece of art. So I'm getting started here with pencil and just drawing kind of a basic grid. This piece of paper is quite large and the grid just kind of helps me to think about where I want to place my marks. The rule of thirds, the idea is that something that is off center is more interesting to look at than something that is dead center. This is really evident when you look at landscapes. Very often it will be 1/3 will be the sky and 2/3 will be the land. Or 2/3 could be the sky and 1/3 will be the land. And it just is a process of creation. It works with photography, it works with art, where you can kind of place your most important objects in a more interesting way. Anyway, that's why I put the grid down, just to help me sort of organize the page as I get started here. I'm using clear gesso to help me spread the paint because I want it to be quite thin. I want to create many layers and I want them to overlap and I want them to be transparent. So the clear gesso is just helping me do that. You could also use matte medium. You could use gel. There's lots of mediums. You could water down your paint. You do sort of lose some of the integrity of the paint if you are using acrylic paint and you water it down. But you could certainly do that as well. It's been quite a long time since I've worked large. Working large is actually my preference. I used to work large all the time, but when I started my YouTube channel, I just don't have the space to create videos of me working large. So I had to sort of downscale everything so that I could work in the space that I have. What I've done for this video, this is a table, it's a dining room table, but it's in my art room. And I've cleared it off and I've put a ladder on it. And then I've jerry-rigged my camera so that it will stand on this ladder and film me painting. It's not really a setup that I can keep long term, and I'm not even sure it's all that safe, quite frankly. But I was really excited to make this video and I wanted to share it. So this was the best I could do. And because it's been so long since I worked large, I kind of forgot how to do it. Like my natural movements now are quite small, and the brushes I've been choosing and the tools I've been using to paint with have all become quite small. And so trying to build this up large again was an interesting and fun challenge. But I just keep adding layers and layers and layers. And yeah, some of that muscle memory, a lot of that muscle memory is gone for working large. So I'm happy with the underpainting, and I'm ready to move on to my stencils. The stencils I'm going to use in this video are all from Joggles. This one is called Flora and Flow. And as I add the paint, I end up kind of coming up with this silly little story in my head about these little rainbow fish who are swimming in this little rainbow river. And so to me, these little shapes end up looking like fish, even though that's not what I had intended when I first started putting them down. I just thought the stencil would be interesting. And I liked that it had big open areas, which would cover more paper. But I go into this little dialogue in my head about these little fishes who are swimming in this little rainbow river. And so I make them swim across, and then they swim up to the top. And I'm changing the color and I'm changing the direction of the stencil to make it interesting. And here I've just turned the paper upside down so that I can finish making them swim over the top of the page. When I fold the book, I know I'm going to be folding it in half. So some of these little fish are going to be swimming upside down and off pages. And but it was just a fun part of creating this. And now I've turned it around again, the paper, and I'm just adding some more little fish swimming in a new direction down here. And this color I've mixed is really beautiful. It's kind of a sagey green. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Aren't they cute? Do you see them? Do you guys see the little fish swimming? This is a stencil called Batik. I believe it is Batik number 1. It is also from Joggles. And I thought maybe these were little tadpoles. I don't know. I don't know why I'm telling you guys the story. The little rainbow fishes swimming in my little rainbow painting. And I just put these in a straight line because as I fold the paper, it's going to create some interesting pages. So they'll be swimming across the tops of some, the middle of some, the bottom of some. And this pattern is just really fun. Even though it's a repeating pattern, each of those circles is slightly different from the next. So there's variety of the shapes, even though it's all repeating. And then I decided to put some down here. And I thought, these look like little people. This is a fun little stencil. If you need some little people standing in a crowd, this might be a great stencil for you. It makes some really interesting and cute little bodies. I put them across and then sort of descending. These are two little mini stencils from Joggles, and I'm going to use Astro Paste. And this is the color Cookie Dough. So the Astro Paste is a glitter paste, and when you put it on, it's very white, but it dries, and all you see are the glitter bits. But because it's a paste, the glitter is not loose. So it sticks really nicely to the page. And now I'm going to add some gold elements. This is a glue that will also apply white. And as it dries, it becomes clear. Once it's dry, you can add all kinds of transfer papers to it and various gold leaf, things like that. So I have gold sheets, and it's not the gold leaf that's really fine and breakable. It's kind of a plasticky sheet. I'll show you. I do apply it on camera. So here I'm just trying to show you that I've put it on and it's white, although you can't see it very clearly. But it's going to dry clear. So now it's dry, and this is the sheet I was talking about. So see, it's not going to flake. I'm going to rub this into the spots with the glue, and it transfers the gold onto the page. This is very shiny gold. It's very bright and very shiny. So it's a fun accent. And you can see kind of where I've used that glitter paste, that now you can really see the glitter. I've zoomed in the camera so that you can see a little closer. You're not quite so far away. I'm just going to rub this. And you can see as I rub it, it pulls that transfer of gold off and leaves empty spaces on the gold sheet. I also put some little dots around just to spread out the glitter, the gold, so that it's represented everywhere. I'm just trying to show you how shiny it is. It's a really pretty gold. So folding it, I ended up being mostly off camera. If you haven't seen one of the videos where I go through the full process of how to fold them, please go check those out. I'll list them in the description if you want to see the other books I've made. But in this camera setup, you couldn't really see what I was doing anyway. So here I'm just flipping through the pages. I've turned it upside down. I'm trying to decide where I would like my cover to be and where I want those pages. And those little people standing up are so cute. So here is what I've decided will be my cover. And I'm going to glue all of it. Every bit of it gets some glue. And then I fold it again. And I'm trying to line up those center marks. so that the pages can all line up and stick down all the spots. And here it is. The fun. I love this little page with all the people on it. So, in retrospect, I don't think I put enough paint onto the page. Like I said, I'm out of practice working large. So I do wish I had spent more time and added more layers of paint. But I really like the stencil work, and the gold makes it really fun and shiny. And I'm still trying to decide where I want the cover to be and trying to get that center to lay down together. So here I've moved back to my cutting board, and I'm just going to trim the edges because having folded it, they're not all going to line up perfectly. So I'm just going to trim them. This was a lot of fun to work big again. And it reminded me, some of the things that I've forgotten how to do. I'm going to use this watercolor marker in Payne's Gray to paint the edges so that they're not white. It's just an extra little touch that I like to do on these books to kind of finish them off. And I don't show you, but I do all of the edges. And I let it dry sitting in this position like this. So the glue on the pages can dry. And here's the finished product. I love this page. It's my favorite. It's so cute. And I don't know, maybe I'll write a little story in there about fishes swimming in a rainbow river. I don't know. Thanks for joining me today. If you like this video, I'd love it if you would give me a like, if you'd leave me a comment. I'd love it if you would subscribe and help this channel to grow. And if you're interested in seeing another video, then I suggest this one. Have a great day. Bye.